Do you hear me? I'm talking to you across the water, across the deep blue ocean, under the open sky. Oh my.
Is anybody out there? Is anybody out there?
Hey Stella, it's Spazz, and guess what? I just finished my first week of school! Yeah! Not really! But nevertheless, I know you're starting your first day of school tomorrow, so I'm helping you kickstart that day off with my Harry Potter versus Twilight. Sweet! But before we even start with that, I need to get something off my chest, okay? So, this weekend, or rather during the week, I've been watching a couple episodes of this anime called Code Geass, LELOUCH of the Rebellion, and I just finished it today, and that ending was freaking sad! Oh my gosh, I never thought I could actually cry like that. And I don't usually cry during TV movies. No, TV anything, usually. It's just so, oh my, the ending, don't even get me started, but without spoiling anything, the ending was just amazing and sad and very unexpected and WTF and what the heck, but LELOUCH is officially #1 on my top 10 favorite characters list. So, those of you who really want a good futuristic / alternate history / drama / whatever, anime, cartoon, whatever you want to call it, go watch Code Geass, LELOUCH of the Rebellion, and you'll be swept off your feet, probably. But right now, what are we doing? Yeah, right now we have Harry Potter versus Twilight. So, in order to help me choose, I'm gonna flip a coin. Heads is Sparkle Boy, or tails is the boy who's moody. Okay, so it's Pokemon. Okay, I lied. It's... okay, Harry Potter. Harry just wins. And first of all, you can't compare two whole basically different genres. I mean, Harry is fantasy, action, blah blah blah. Well, Twilight is the same thing. But honestly, which one has more romance? Twilight or Harry Potter? The obvious one is Twilight. I mean, they have friggin' sex on the beach! Harry Potter just... I grew up with it, sure, but I know that's not an excuse because I totally read Twilight. I can't compare them if I haven't read both of them, even though I probably shouldn't be comparing it, because I'm totally contradicting myself by telling myself that I should compare it, but then again I just told the world that you shouldn't compare it. But that's besides the point, okay? Harry Potter has its story, and I have to agree with you, because now that I think about it, I have no idea who the heck Edward is. And honestly, if you other girls out there had a boyfriend that stalked you and watched you while you slept without your knowledge, would you either be creeped out or totally feel loved? I'd be creeped out, and I think the majority of people would feel creeped out. I mean, how would they even get through the window unless they're the vampire? There's an alarm system in the modern age. Yes, Bella, I watch you sleep. You talk. That's creepy. I mean, I'm not saying that I thought Harry Potter was weird at first. I mean, seriously, Hogwarts? What do you think of that when you first hear Hogwarts? But then, at least in Twilight, Edward and Bella have some relationship building up throughout the series. Harry and Ginny was just random for me. It was, whoa, oh my gosh, what the hell is this? Because they suddenly kissed and Harry suddenly liked Ron's sister. So, on the romance level, Twilight is obviously the better one. Okay? I mean, who thinks of Horcruxes in 7 books? And every time I reread every single book, like, I just read the 6th book for the 3rd time over the summer, and you have no idea how much information I lost track of. I was like, holy crap, J.K. Rowling is amazing. But Stephenie Meyer, she's, like, in terms of the way she writes, she's probably not as good as J.K., but the way she presented it was the best way she could have. You see, by putting it in Bella's POV, or point of view, the girl or the reader or whoever is reading it falls in love with Edward kind of throughout the series because you're watching it through Bella's point of view. But think about it, what if it was in 3rd person? Would you really fall in love with Edward? I mean, you're not seeing into Bella's thoughts. Stephenie Meyer was a genius for doing it this way because she knew what she was doing. She did. And I liked Edward until the 4th book. The 4th book, no. And you know what? That's another thing. In the 4th book for Twilight, the Twilight Saga, I expected this whole Big Bang fighting and boom, 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 boom. But nothing happened. They ended up living happily ever after, and it was boring. But no, everyone else is worried that Edward and Bella are going to break down their house because of how many times they can do it. At least in Harry, it was a pretty satisfying ending. Only the epilogue, I think the story could have done without, but if she had the epilogue in there, at least do not completely destroy all these fanfiction imagination things. I mean, without the epilogue, you know how many fanfiction things you could have done with Harry Potter? Yeah. But the epilogue, that's probably the only thing that I was like, about in the 7th book. But besides both authors being absolute geniuses, I mean, J.K. Rowling, your mind just blows mine. It blows it. But Stephenie Meyer presented Twilight in such a way that you couldn't help but look at Edward from Bella's eyes, because that's exactly what she's making you do. If it wasn't in Bella's point of view, you'd probably think that Edward was creepy for stalking her in her sleep, and that his crazy lines about, oh my gosh, I'm going out seductively. Kiss me. Really? Wow. All in all, both series are just fantastic reads, and you won't regret reading them. But if you read both of them, like most people have if they've read either one, you're not supposed to compare them because they're completely different. Harry Potter may have mentioned vampires, may have had one vampire in the Slug Club party in the 6th book, but Twilight is centered around romance between a vampire and a human. Harry Potter is centered around a magical school that teaches, obviously, magic. And the main thing isn't romance, okay? So, I hope we get to the point now that we all agree that they're both amazing. But for me, my preference is Harry Potter. Pokemon. Kamehameha! I, LELOUCH V. Britannia, command you. Get a life.